On Tuesday, it was reported that former Vice President Mike Pence's lawyer had found some classified documents at Pence's personal residence. Now, his attorney had revealed the documents were found at January 18th in an unsecured area of the home. Now, the steps that he took, obviously, were to secure the documents and contacted the FBI, the National Archives, immediately to have them picked up the same night. So, look, again, the response was proper. That said, Fox News, which has had a lot of fun with Biden also having classified documents at his home, upon this revelation, was suddenly not having so much fun. But don't worry. They soon found someone other than Mike Pence to blame. Take a look.
But I think it's great that he was so responsible to check that. And it seems like we've got a broader problem.
Yes.
I think in our government, there's a bipartisan problem of people mishandling classified information.
We've known that. And when former President Obama, Molly, changed what it meant. Can you talk about that? Because there was a change that Obama made about who can declassify and document so on and so forth. That was during the Hillary Clinton.
Oh, so we found it. It's Obama's fault. He did it. He made it so that this classification, anything to say that something Obama, Hillary. It doesn't even matter that her argument doesn't make any sense. But this Obama and then Hillary. What? Now, look, I'll get into the details of what Obama actually did, right? On December 29, 2009, then President Obama had issued an executive order that changed the classification system. Now, the goal was to actually reduce overclassification and to expedite the release of formerly classified materials to the public. So, unless, of course, that it involves sources that, are still in the field, that could be in danger, a lot of the classification eventually ends, and there are people, for example, the vice president, that can declassify things. Now, if we find out that Vice President or former Vice President Mike Pence had, before he left office, declassified some of these items, then again, there wouldn't be a problem. Although I don't really think there's that big of a problem for him having these documents in the first place because of, again, how he didn't remember that he had them, that they were, according to his lawyer, accidentally shipped over, and then when they found them, had been like, oh shoot, yeah, of course I'm going to return them. But there's that, right? But see what Obama did in his executive order. I don't see what it has to do with Mike Pence having documents in the House, and I also don't understand how that's a deflection from what Trump had done. And that's, by the way, what Molly Hemingway is going to get to with her explanation of what's going on. Take a look.
But really, this entire thing, this type of dispute is common. Even what Biden is going through is somewhat common. President Obama had paperwork disputes with the National Archives that are ongoing. What really made this whole thing different is when the National Archives and the Department of Justice took a fairly common paperwork dispute with a former president, one they despise, and they turned it into this big, crazy thing of raiding the home, and now all of a sudden they're being hoisted by their own petard here, where they now have to deal with the fact that there are problems with every former president and vice president.
What? Okay, hold on. Wow. See, look, there's a big problem, and now, I mean, now that Pence was caught, they all do it. They've all done it. Yes, that's it. And since they all do it, and this is very, very common paperwork dispute. That's all it is. And the DOJ just hates Trump so much, they turned it into a thing. No, that's not what's going on. That is just gaslighting. 100%. Not what happened. Look, Donald Trump was asked multiple times over the span of months to return documents that they knew he had. And he says, well, I have documents Fine, we'll return them. Oh, no, actually, we don't have documents. We already gave you everything. We don't have them. Oh, yeah, looks like we do have documents, but we're not going to return them. No. In fact, we returned too many. Now they're mine. I declassified them. They're my documents. You can't touch them. By the way, the FBI, you also planted them. The story has, I would say, evolved, but it's actually devolved. And it's just nonsense excuses and just a way to be completely and utterly obstinate. Again, you had Christina Bobb signing off on an affidavit saying that Donald Trump had returned these documents before the raid. And by the way, at the same time, before the raid, he had refused to turn any of the documents over, and the archives was frustrated. They're like, we got to get these back. We know you've got them. You have internal sources saying, hey, there's a bunch of unsecured documents here at Mar-a-Lago. Please come get them. And by the way, the guy that approved this raid is Christopher Wray, who was a Trump appointee. It's the last thing he wanted to do. These situations are not the same thing. Both Biden and Pence, once they had realized they had documents, they immediately sent them back. Which is with Donald Trump, the only thing he had to do is just send them back. That's it. The only thing that she is correct about is that, yes, it does seem to be pretty common, and I would be surprised if this is the last time you had a vice president or former vice president that, oops, turns out you've had some documents. But again, this is very important. This is not a thing. It would not become a thing if you just turned over the documents that you have. That's it. And it's going to go into the archives, and then they're going to figure out if they can declassify it. That's it. That's the difference. Again, all of this could have been avoided had Trump just did what he was supposed to do.